Good morning, beautiful people. It is 11:28 on May the 8th, 2013. Oh man, what a relief after April's energies. Um, we were really stepping into some higher vibrations now that we've done some pretty major purging. And I'm hearing so many people, myself included, discussing some of their issues that they had in April, and it seems like we were all just really doing a major purging for humanity and for Mother Earth, and with that, we're allowing a much higher light and vibration to come in, and boy, do I feel it in my field. A couple of months ago, I'd done a video saying I'm really feeling it strongly in my legs, the light that is, and the higher frequencies, like I usually felt my upper chakras. Um, and as you start lighting up, you start realizing all these minor chakras that are all up and down your body, and they're on your hips and in your knees and tops and bottoms of your feet, just like they're tops and bottoms of your hand or your shoulders and all around. And as you start expanding your light and activating your chakras, hey, Mockingbird, this guy comes and sits with me all the time when I do videos, and just amazing how he's very interested in me. Anyway, we start feeling all these minor chakras activating as we're going through our initiation or light expansion or light body activation or whatever you want to call it. And it's interesting to feel the minor chakras and feel them as strongly as major chakras, and to watch them expand. And right now, I've gone through another expansion that I first began feeling where the minor chakras kind of merged and blend. And I could feel it in my lower half of my body, my legs, my thighs and calves and feet. And anyway, that was pretty strong a couple of months ago. But since this purging and clearing and higher frequency light that's incoming after what we did in April, it's just super, super powerful. My legs now feel like the chakras in my upper body. And he is just so curious. That mockingbird is just absolutely curious about me every time I come out here. And that's just really neat to see. And anyway, yeah, we're coming into some higher light, and I feel I'm living more as a light being or in my light body than I am my physical body now. It's transforming, transfiguring that intensely. Oh man, it's been interesting to watch what's going on in the news the past few days, and see what the government's trying to do about stopping 3D printers, because people can print guns. People can print toy guns with 3D printers, but you cannot print any type of real gun that you can use on a repeating basis or an automatic weapon or semi-automatic weapon. You can't do it out of plastic. It takes metal machine parts. You might be able to print a body that holds the metal machine parts, but your barrel, your bolt or slide, or your mainspring, these all have to be out of metal for certain reasons, and that's because of ammunition. You cannot print plastic ammunition. If you do, it's just not going to shoot well. It is at the velocities that modern gunpowder, which modern gunpowder has too much pressure potential to stay within inside a cartridge of a plastic barrel to function. Even your Glock pistols, which are plastic, these Glock pistols they still have metal barrels. They still have metal slides and firing pins. And even if it's a plastic slide, it's still got to have a metal firing pin to hit the primer on the back of a brass or brass contained plastic cartridge. And the projectile has to be metal anyway, otherwise it's going to screwball at the velocities that are propelled by modern gunpowders. And so all of this that the government's doing, trying to scare people about 3D printers, and we got to control these 3D printers because people can make guns with them, they can make toy guns with them, but they cannot make the real deals with them. It is basic metallurgy. I'm a tool and die maker. I've been doing that machining since the early 1980s, and I'm also very proficient in use of guns and been reloading my own ammunition since I was a kid. Now, about 3 years ago, I started losing that vibration and don't like being around shooting all the time. But it doesn't mean that I don't understand the process and what's going on. And so all of this United States government fear mongering about 3D printers and guns, that's a joke. And it's a joke to anybody who understands the concepts of how these tools, machines work. Metallurgy states that you cannot have a totally plastic gun using modern powders. Blah, 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 blah. Let that one go. Let me tell you why they don't want you to have 3D printers, and that's because a 3D printer can make another larger, bigger, and better printer, the parts to make a larger 3D printer. And your 3D printers can print your anything in your house. They can print glasses or plates or furniture or any types of tools or making other printers. And you can go so far as to make wind turbines or print your own vehicle or print your own house. And what's happening is they don't want 3D printers out, because what happens is you become self-sufficient, limited only by your ability to purchase the resins necessary for the manufacturing of the 3D printers. And you get out of the corporate structure when you do that. You are no longer a consumer when you can get a program off the net and say, yeah, I like this certain glass design or that lamp design or whatever, and you just print it out. You're not making purchases from the corporate world at that point. So all these things about 3D printing, and 3D printing is absolutely, that's the wave of the future. I mean, this is just going to be phenomenal when we start being able to print all the different things that we want. And those things we print can be recyclable, because those resins that is used in 3D printing, hey, Mr. Wasp, right on my my camera right then. All of those resins that would be used in 3D printing can be totally recyclable, and it changes the whole world. And we're not going to be destroying the planet for digging up the resources that we used to have to do. And resins for 3D printer could be just like, say, the new spray foam insulations that they have coming out of soybeans or corn. New plastics can be made out of vegetable matters and totally recyclable. This is what the government doesn't want. It's taking you, our corporate government that's supporting consumerism and pushing consumerism, they don't want you to be free from the system. And so they're trying to control 3D printing, and they're trying to do it with scare tactics, saying, oh, it's all about being able to make a gun, which you can't do. I mean, yeah, you can print all the parts except for the barrel, the slide, the mainspring, firing pin, these things. If you're going to use a functional gun that's going to shoot more than one shot, and even to shoot one shot with modern ammunition, You can't do it just out of plastic. Your plastic firing pin is not going to hit and cause that metal primer, steel primer at the base of the brass cartridge to fire. It will not work because the plastic is not hard enough to do that. It's metallurgy. it's Mohs hardness. And anyway, they just don't want us to have the 3D printers because it could absolutely set you free. Every tool in my toolbox, or most every tool in my toolbox that's a hand tool, can be manufactured using a 3D printer and be fully functional. It just totally changes the ball game. And so this whole thing about 3D printing, that's a bunch of baloney. Now, it is funny watching Obama go to, I think that was Ohio University, or was it in Illinois here these past few days, and telling all the students there, don't believe in the conspiracy theories and the conspiracists and people who are actually showing details and evidence of what's going on and providing real truth, about the government, which the government is not themselves providing. It was really funny seeing Obama saying the same thing as George Bush 43 did. Don't believe in them conspiracy theorists. And then Rachel Maddow coming behind with her little rant on persons who are showing what's going on, and they're trying to say that there's no conspiracy when, the conspiracy guys and the alternative news networks are showing what's happening, giving details, results, evidence, facts. And you have the government, which is creating so many false flags and so many issues and so many so many things to bring on an economic collapse or enslave humanity, or trying to control and manipulate and keep humanity from being free. You have the evidence on one hand and the people doing the stuff on the other hand with no evidence. They say trust in the government, believe in the FBI, believe in your police, when we watch these persons being absolutely illegal in everything they do. And so it's such a hoot to see what's going down in the news. Now, with all this and with what energies were in April, let's talk a little bit about true mastery. And true mastery is the realization that our thoughts, our emotions, what we picture in our mind, what we feel, actually creates our reality. And we need to hold that highest vibration we possibly can. We need to totally remove ourselves from the fear and to feel the peace and feel our empowerment and feel the light and the frequency within our field and feel our physical beings activate as we are going through our enlightenment process, our inner lighting process. And we're transfiguring these bodies. The things that hold us back from that transfigurations are our own thoughts and perceptions and the vibrations of these other fear tactics that's being put out by Team Dark, which I thank Team Dark so very much for doing what they're doing, because they're awakening humanity. They're getting humanity to realize that something is not right here. And when humanity starts opening their eyes, then they can't help but to start realizing that the government's doing everything they can to enslave the population, to empower the corporations, to eliminate the freedoms of the individual self, when enlightenment and empowerment is the activation, the empowerment of the individual self. And manifestation occurs because of what we put our thoughts, focus, and emotions into, what we desire to create. And energy follows that thought, and energy follows those emotions. And so the critical thing is to be in absolute control of your thoughts and your emotions and what you are putting to your field, because you're creating it. We're all creating it. And we do this as individuals, and we do it as groups, and we do it as the collective. And it is that exactly uh, that Team Dark is trying to keep from having happened. And so, anyway, it's all just learning. I mean, they are such fantastic spiritual drill instructors, Team Dark is. The Illuminati is, the corporate world is, and they are just really, really tempering the steel of those who are awake, aware, and on our spiritual path, and who are going through our initiation and activation process. And it's just so cool to watch and witness. Do we have to be so focused on all these things that the dark do? Well, if you don't expose it, then they're going to take it as permission to go ahead and do these things that they want to do. But when you start exposing it, they quit and they back off. And sooner or later, everybody's going to know what's going on, and we can step through this next stage of the collective ascension. But much gratitude and thanks to Team Dark for doing what they're doing, because, if people didn't wake up and see it as absolute insanity, what the government, what the military, what Team Dark is doing, the corporations are doing to humanity and to the world, if people didn't wake up to that, then we would not have a mass ascension. So it's a good thing. And oh man, it's you just got to look and see what's truly going on, and realize there is so much disinformation out there. Even this morning, there was a little video on free energy production and how you could turn your little surge protectors, wrapped it within a coil, and then plug the thing in and strike it with this lighter, and it would hold a charge where you could run all these other power tools and things that needed electricity. And I was like, how does that work? And since I hadn't got the tools here to test it, I was like, what the heck? Can somebody disprove this? And Lucas sent me a video back showing that when you take that little receptacle over and you turn it on the bottom side, there's a plug-in that runs into another power source on the other end of that. And so that was, there's so much disinformation out there along with so much real information. And you have to be inside your heart to discern it. And, even for me, with as strong of a background in electrical use, and I'm going, I don't know about that, but can somebody please disprove this? It caught me and it threw me just a little bit. So anyway, this is just the games we're playing. We're trying to get down to what is truth. And what is truth? The only truths, the only thing that is permanent is your consciousness, your light, the energy, your frequency that's within your field. This is who we are. And this is the only reality. And all the rest of this stuff is a bunch of BS to experience the separation from source. And source, as you start expanding your light and your consciousness, is only found within, right in your heart. And so, anyway, that's the only thing that matters. That is all that matters. Everything else is just part of the illusion. Everything outside of your heart is the hologram, which is the illusion. And so, anyway, what a wonderful, wonderful time to be alive. We're right in the middle of this eclipse sandwich right now, and things certainly are really changing, and it is such a wonderful time to be alive. And anyway, that's enough of this little uh, video and verbal diarrhea. See y'all. Bye for now. Love you.